see the comments. Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me, let me know. Hi, Miss Brenda. How's it going? I'm going to share this video out. How's it going? How's it going? Q&A. Hi, Rachel. How's it going? Hello. If you have a question that you want me to... This, like, studio light is real close and real bright. If you have a question that you want me to answer, let me know. I do have a list of questions here that were for other Q&As that didn't get answered, so we will work on those. But for those of you who are here, I'm going to be answering what you want me to answer because you'll be here. I'm going to just post this on social media, and then we're going to get started. I have 7 questions queued up. All right, I'm just posting this. Hi, Marjorie. How are you? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? My mom got me this new coffee from Sam's Club, and I usually drink the chocolate coffee from Walmart. And in general, like, I have ADHD, so I usually drink the chocolate coffee from Walmart. But I don't know how much caffeine was in this, but I called Brenda this morning and was just like on another level. So, yeah. Alrighty. Okay, I've shared it out, so let's get started. And I think Miss Brenda has a question. Dude. It's just wearing off, Brenda. I think I might have had a second cup. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm so glad that my partner's out of town because, like, I vibrate pretty high energy-wise in general, so, like, he can't always handle me. Hi, Shelly. Brenda asks, can you tell us a little bit about the new Aesthetica launch? Are there new styles or current styles on the new lace? These are brand new styles, and they're in the Swiss lace. They are all listed on the website for pre-order. I haven't seen them yet. I'm going to get them next week. I do think I think it's called Ariel or Ari or something. I think I tried that on when I was at Aesthetica last summer as a sample. They just said, like, here's some samples, try it on, let me know what you think. And I think that that's one that I tried on, but I'm not sure. So, hi, Miss Pam. How's it going? All right, so we have some questions. Ari. I believe I tried that one on, but I did a lot when I was at Aesthetica that day, so I don't remember everything, and it was like last summer. So, they are available for pre-order on my website, and they are limited colors. Anytime they launch new styles, don't expect them to come, in the coffee colors, or they're not going to come in any of the specialty colors. They're not coming in the grays, they're not coming in any of that. Okay. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, but I am going to start with, and I actually have all of the stuff that I need to talk about in front of me, like on the table. So I'm very prepared today. It got re-wintered here, so like winter came back. So yeah, I'm wearing like a sweater, a vest. I'm just over it. But okay, so the first question was, so Vina asked, what wig brands run smaller or are good for petite heads and extra small heads? And then Karen R had asked, what brands run average, which is like larger than average? Okay, so this is a complicated question, and so let's get into this. I think it's a very important question. Overall, I find that wig sizes are kind of like sizes for clothes. So you can go to, you know, 6 different brands and get a size 10, but it's different in every single one. Okay. So let's start with, I carry 37 brands. I've reviewed a jillion wigs, and this is my experience. But I want to say this doesn't even hold true across, like, there are certain, like Renee Paris. Renee Paris has they have the, you know, Muse line, the Orchid line, they have the Alexander Couture. I don't even necessarily find that wigs can be the same size across an entire brand. Um, so unfortunately, some of it's trial and error. Let's start with the petite side first. I would say that wigs that definitely run smaller are going to be your Amore, Noriko, and sometimes your older Renee Paris. And one of the reasons that is because they're actually they're they go off of the European sizing, and Europeans actually have smaller heads than Americans do. So those ones you're gonna find are gonna be a little bit more, are gonna be smaller. I find that I'm just gonna run through the brands in my head. I find that that's probably a good way to do that. Belle Tress definitely runs a little bit bigger. I think Tressalore, depending on if it's their classic line, which is their non-heat safe line, versus their heat friendly line, can be average, maybe slightly larger on the heat friendly side. Aesthetica's average does run a little bit bigger than the average. Um, and then you have some brands that do carry petites, and um, I'd say Tony Bratton is a. I have to get more Tony Bratton in. Tony Bratton's a great brand for sizing because they actually have their regular sizes and plus sizes, and they're all exactly the same. So there's exact same colors. You know, there's some like Aesthetica, for instance. They only have a couple petite styles, and then that's all that they have. So, you know, that could be a challenge. I have also found that I have reviewed a few styles from Hairdo, the kids line, KIDZ, and those are considered ultra petites. Now I'm 21 and a half inches, which does put me in sort of that petite range. Um, and I can wear the Hairdo kids line, and it's a really nice fit, and it's a petite fit. Um, I would say that Envy is pretty similar to Tressalore. Main Attraction is pretty similar to that as well. Hi, Sally K. Hi, Angie. Um, yeah, I think that Wig Pro can be pretty true to average, I would say. I'm trying to think of who I am missing. Raquel Welch and those, they have, you know, the large sizes. Some of them have the petite, same with Gabor. Um, so yeah, overall, if you're someone who's really petite, hi Kristen, I would go with either like the petite line, the Hairdo kids line, um, uh, Amore, or Noriko. Those are going to be the ones that are definitely going to skew a little bit smaller in general. If you're looking for larger caps, I would stick with, you know, Belle Tress, Aesthetica for sure. And I would also stick with some of the heat safe line from Tressalore. Yeah, anybody, if you have any thoughts about that, please put that in the chat. We're all here together. We all have different experiences, so you can put that in the chat. But overall, I think that hopefully that explains why it can be difficult. And that's why, you know, you want to watch reviews, reach out to someone like me, you know, who kind of knows a lot of different brands. Oh, the Muse line from Renee Paris tends to skew a little bigger as well. Yes, Shelly, I'd say Main Attractions pretty true to average, but a little bit bigger, similar to Aesthetica. So I would agree with that. I need a little sip of my drink. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. But next up, let's talk about. Oh, someone was asking. They were looking at sizes, or they were looking at the wig in terms of like the length and everything. And someone asked, what is the nape, the crown, the front and the sides. Like, where is that on the wig? So let's go ahead. We'll use this girl for an example. This is Renee Paris's Dazzling Waves in Snowy Umber R. This is a new, thank you, Sally. This is an old beauty supply store wig that I almost threw out like 20 times. This is Dazzling Waves by Renee Paris in Snowy Umber R. So if you're not sure, and it's okay if you don't know, when they're giving measurements, when they're talking about the crown, that's right up in here, you know, like as if you were wearing a crown. The nape is going to be right down here, where it comes from the cap. Let me just take it off, because so this would be the nape here, okay? And then obviously if it's a side, and sometimes you'll see if it's layered, they'll have multiple side measurements, and then you have the back, okay? If it's bangs or if it has fringe, sometimes they'll talk about that, and that would be right in the front there. You know, everybody is different in their journey and they have different questions, so we want to answer all the questions no matter what. Okay, all right, so let me check that one off. And then someone asked about basic wig care and like how often to wash it. Do you soak it? Do you rinse it? So let's talk about that. I got some demonstration things. And let me grab my one demonstration thing that I don't have that's really important. Hold it. Okay, so basic wig care. Let's talk about it. The first thing is, and I get this question asked a lot in the boutique. First of all, how often do you wash it? How to wash it? I have videos on a lot of these things, but let's talk about like sort of let's talk about the quick and dirty. Get it? Like quick and dirty wash. Stop it. About washing it. Overall, if you've watched, hi Karen. Overall, I do think that you should use products that are designed for wigs in order to be washing them. Yes, you can use other products, but some of it, if it's formulated for synthetic fibers, you're not going to get build up as much, breakage. It's going to last longer. So, and again, this is my 2 cents about it. This is my experience. This is how, you know, and I've washed and reviewed and owned a bunch of wigs. I also do a donation program here. So I wash a lot of wigs because I wash the wigs that get donated before I send them to the cancer center. So this is just my experience, my 2 cents. Everybody's different, but this is what my advice would be. The first thing is I would use, if you're doing synthetic, heat safe or not, I would use a synthetic hair shampoo. This is my favorite one, which is the Renee Paris Prepare shampoo. I also like this one from Tressalore, which is just their wig shampoo this is just a kit that I have, but it's their wig shampoo. But when I am washing like the donation wigs or my own wigs, this is what I use right here. You can get this on my website. This is a travel size. You can also get the large size, but I use this. And what I do is I get this, which is a plastic mixing bowl. I got this from Walmart. I think it was like $1. I have like 4 of them. And it's a 5-quart mixing bowl. So I put a couple in each because I'm usually washing a lot of wigs at once. But usually what I do is I go ahead and put 1 drop of the shampoo, you know, just squeeze it a little. It'll come out in like a dollop, like it'll be like blurp. So I just do a blurp, okay? And then you're gonna put in cool water. You don't want to put in warm water. You're going to put in cool water. I usually fill it to about halfway or the 2 or 3 quart mark. And then I grab, let me get a wig. Okay, this is my wig. This is my collaboration with Aesthetica. This is Bay, or also known as, I think it's Retro. I'm not sure, but it's Bay. You can find it on my website. So what I do is I fill it like halfway with water, and then I put the wig in. I always hold it in the front by the lace just to make sure that nothing happens with that. I'm not tugging on it or whatever. And I kind of just put it in and keep like soaking it like this until it gets completely saturated with water. I'll lay it in there, and then I'll finish adding the rest of the water to the top. And then usually, once it's all full in, I just kind of like mix it around, and then I leave it sit. I don't leave it sit for a long time, but we're gonna be honest, I have ADHD, so I usually forget about it. Um, so I leave it sit, and then what I do is I pull up against from the lace, and I go like this, and then I kind of look at the water. You'll kind of see the stuff coming off of it. So what I like to do then is I like to actually sort of dump the water and then kind of run the water again in the bowl to rinse it out. So I do this to kind of rinse it out, and I keep pulling it out and pulling it out until I see that the water is coming clear. Then I'm acting like this is wet. And then what I do, again, still holding it from the front, I kind of press out the excess water from the style. If I'm doing a lot of them, I will lay out like a towel, lay this on a towel just to kind of press out the extra water. And then honestly, I hang this on the shower head to drip dry, and I do hang it this way. Or if I'm gonna hang it like on a hook, I always hang it right up underneath the nape and let it drip dry like that. And then that's how I dry it. Okay, so that's sort of the washing part of the maintenance. I do sell this conditioner, and you can get conditioners. I don't use the shampoo and conditioner like you do with your hair. So like if I were to wash my bio hair, I'd put on shampoo and also then put on conditioner. But I don't do that with my wigs. I use conditioner as needed. So conditioner to me, in my mind, because these are synthetic fibers, is like fabric softener. So when I feel like my wigs are a little bit dry, or if I get donation wigs in that are really like on the struggle bus, before I even mess with them, I do the same process with putting the water in. I put the shampoo in, and in that case, I would saturate the whole wig in here, and then I would leave it sit. And I have left mine sit sometimes overnight. I don't know if you should do that or shouldn't do that, but I let it at least sit for, enough time that the conditioner is going to saturate into the fibers. And then I would go through the same process and rinsing and all of that. But I don't use shampoo and conditioner together, okay? Another product that I use for, so that's sort of the washing part of it, right? Oh, here's the other part of that. The question that doesn't have a specific answer is, how often should you wash it? Now, traditionally, or what the consensus seems to be, is sort of every like 6 to 10 wears is what people kind of say. In my mind, does it feel weird? Does it smell weird? Or situationally. So, you could kind of start to smell like if it smells sweaty, or if it just, it's starting to smell, just like if you wear your clothes over and over and over again. And also, like, if you wear a wig cap or like a wig grip cap underneath, I don't feel like you need to wash it as much as if you were just wearing it straight on your head. So that's another caveat. Or if you're going to be in a situation like I went camping, I didn't go camping. I went to a campground. Hi, Ellie. I went to a campground, and there was a fire there, and my wig really like sort of sucked in the fire smell. So then I washed it because of that. But other than that, I guess, but like every 8 to 10 wears. And there's times where I haven't washed my wig. And like when I was doing my declutter and all that, there was definitely ones that I had to set aside. I hadn't touched them in a long time. And I'm like, this girl needed to be washed the last time I had her in there. So that's sort of my 2 cents about that. In terms of conditioner, though, in lieu of like conditioner, like I said, unless it really, really needs it, I don't use the liquid conditioner as much, but I do use this dual leave-in conditioner a lot, okay? I feel like this really helps you not having to do and put as many products on. And again, my 2 cents is the least amount of products, the better. So if you don't need the interventions, don't just use stuff just to use stuff, okay? I love this a lot to sort of like spot condition, especially like a lot of times it's like the ends that get weird. If you can use this to sort of extend the wear, extend the time that you have to wash it, that is a great option. The other option is to use the dry shampoo. I feel like not enough people talk about this, not enough people use it, not enough people have it. This is dry shampoo formulated for synthetic fibers. These products from Tressolor are brush out products, so they're not going to build up, but this is what this is for. Use this to extend the time that you need to wash the wig. It will absorb oil. It will take away odor, take away sweat. It also, I use this in conjunction with the wig wax to sometimes like dirty up a wig so that you can get a little texture in it. But I feel like people don't use this enough, and that's literally what it is for, okay? Is to, just like you would use dry shampoo on your bio hair. All right? Let's see what Angie's saying. Angie says, hi, Yolanda. Hi, Ellie. I think I said hi, but I love MB shampoo. Do you have a cream conditioner for times it needs an extra help? I have a travel kit. Yes, you can get the, I use this Renee Paris light conditioner. It should be on my website. If not, just let me know. It's $5. And it, that's what I use. I have the leave-in spray conditioner. Do they come in larger sizes? I can only find the travels. You mean from the Envy? I don't think the Envy does come in bigger. I have the leave-in spray conditioner. Do they come in? Are you talking about the Envy? Specifically Envy. Oh, let me write that down. I will check. So you're talking about the Envy leave-in spray conditioner. Sizes. I'll check with them. I actually have to call them in the morning anyway, so I'll find out. Ellie says that Tressolor dry shampoo is amazing. Took away the not so fresh smell from a wig I wore out to a barbecue. Yeah, right? Large shampoo, large conditioner. I'll check that for you, Angie. Okay, so I think that answers sort of the basic wig care question that Judy had. So let's go ahead and move on to Liz asks, how many pieces should we have at one time to avoid stressing each one out too much? So I had a video about this where I talked about the types of wigs that that people should have. And so again, this is one of those answers where there's not like a set number. I always feel like if you want your synthetic wigs to last longer, and it works for you, I have wigs, not necessarily like a number, but I have wigs that I use for an occasion, okay? So you would have your wig that you use maybe daily wear, that you wear to like work all the time. That would be your wig. Maybe you have 2 of those in rotation, okay? And I'm just gonna throw this out here because this is just what I'm thinking. Like, so for instance, maybe I have Aesthetica's Ocean and I have 2 of those, and that's what I'm gonna wear. That's my go-to daily wear, going to work, throw it on. I know that it's gonna look great, right? And then I would have my wigs that are the like this one. This is an old wig from Bishi. I just clip it back like this. This is my I was doing a bunch of videos on wigs. I didn't have one on. I had to come on and do this live. I wanted to wear a little bit of hair, or I just need to run out um, to the post office. I want it to look cute, but I don't really care. So I have a bunch of these types of wigs. So if something were to happen to this, like whatever, if it got tangled or ruined and I couldn't wear it anymore, I wouldn't like lose my crap about it. But I still feel cute and I just go ahead and run around in it. I have one wig that I wear for my active wig if I'm going to be being outside, being active, especially when I used to go, I work out at home now, but when I used to go into the gym, I had one that I wore with a hat, and like it was just, it was a mess, right? It was one that probably could have been thrown away. So I didn't really care if I was going to sweat in it, getting friction from the hat, like I didn't care. And then I had like two or three that were like my fancy hair, and that was probably pre-COVID when I actually went places. Um, and so I had wigs that were like special and fun, maybe a colorful wig, maybe one that had a little bit more volume, you know. So when I was going to special occasions or even to dinner, just out or whatever, I could feel cute and all of that kind of stuff. But that is what, that's what I would say. So, you know, I just think like the hair that you're going to wear all the time, like at work, in your daily life, is probably not the one that you should wear when you're like going on a hike or doing gardening or whatever, you know? So I feel like it's more of a situational type hair. And hopefully that answered that question. Does anybody on the live right now have a question? If you haven't checked out my channel lately, outside of this live, I've been putting up a lot of videos, a lot of tutorials. I've been bringing you guys along when I'm just like fixing my own wig that I'm wearing for the day, or playing around, or customizing wigs. Like that's really the kind of videos I've been putting up so that you can see like the real life of it all. So some of these things I do and talk about in those videos as well. So Miss Scarlett asks, what is the benefit of a wig grip versus a wig, what's the benefit of a wig grip cap versus a wig band? So, I personally am in love with the wig grip cap. I find that it's like easy. If you have bio hair, you can contain your hair under it and secure your wig. But some people do not like the wig grip cap, okay? So instead of saying like versus, I'm going to tell you some pros and cons, or like why one would be better for certain situations or people versus the other, right? So let's start with the wig grip cap. I'm wearing mine right now. You see it all the time. And the nice thing about the wig grip cap from Milano, you can get this on my website, is that you're securing any of your hair. You're putting a lining in between your wig and your head with this. It's very, it's, Ellie, I'll answer your question as soon as I'm done with this, okay? It's comfortable, and I think that especially if you have like a sensitive scalp, this is good. You don't have to then wear any kind of wig cap or anything. This is all one piece. So for me, I like that. For some people, they can find maybe that it, oh, the other thing is because I have a petite head, wearing the wig grip cap sometimes makes some of my wigs fit even better because it like fills up the space in between my head and the wig. So for me, I like the wig grip cap. I find it very easy just to put on and secure my wig, and then, you know, we're good to go, okay? Now, a wig grip, I think is good just in general. If you don't mind wearing a wig cap, like a netted wig cap or something, or if you don't want to wear a wig cap, then wearing a wig band is a good option. It's still going to keep your wig on, you know, and so I don't think that it's like one's better than the other. The only time I would say one is better than the other is if you want a wig grip or a wig cap that is a specific size. The hair grip is the only brand where it comes in sizes. And like if you get a wig grip like off of Amazon or whatever, like it's just whatever size that they send. Like it's just kind of, you know, it's just whatever size. Usually it's too big for people. Um, but the hair grip comes in sizes. So it comes in small, medium, and large. So if you want to make sure there's not like extra, like, um, for me, sometimes when I get like a wig grip that's not sized, there'll be like all of this extra like flappiness on there. If you don't want to be dealing with that, or if it's too small and you're like right at the edge and it's like, okay, then I would go with the hair grip just because they offer the sizes and you can make sure that you get the fit that you want. The other option is using one like the Wig Guru, where this is called the Grip-A-Fix Eye. So this has the wig grip, but then instead of this part here, it has that invisible string. Let me see if I can just open this one up without ruining it. Okay. So it has the wig grip like from here to here, but then it has the invisible string. Some people just do not like the bulk in the bottom, in the back. And so this is kind of the best of both worlds where you get the wig grip, there's silicone on either side, but then you have the invisible string so you don't have the bulk of the rest of the, you know, whole wig grip, okay? So I think it's more of like, what do you like? What's your preference? For me, what are your pet peeves? What have you? And then that's kind of how you decide if you want to go wig grip or wig grip cap. I actually have both, and there are occasions when I use both. Miss Ellie said, do you recommend, okay, Sally says, for me, I like the Wig Guru. And the Wig Guru comes in multiple, they have a lot of different versions. So you can find one that really fits what you're looking for. Gina says, love your videos. Thank you, Gina. Okay, Ellie, I'm going to write your question down and then I'm going to answer it. All right, so Ellie wants to know, do you recommend using a silicone-based spray on synthetic wigs? And so no, but yes, but no, okay? I have used the luster sprays, the silicone type sprays. I have used them. I wouldn't recommend them to any of my new people ever because, and I have multiple videos. I actually have a video talking about this exact topic. It's one of the, there's not a ton of them, but that is one product for wigs where you can go, you can put on too much and it like makes it so you have to wash your wig or like you just jacked it up. Now, when I used to review wigs and I was just a reviewer, I literally wore a different wig every day. So I would film a video before I went to work. And then I would also film videos if I went out. And there were so many times in my videos where I would use the oil spray and I was like literally ready to go out, cute, got the whole makeup on, the whole wig, the whole thing was going. And I was like, psh, and I sprayed so much that it was like oily and weird. And I had to change my wig because it was just too much. So if you're going to use the oil sprays, I actually feel like, this is my 2 cents, you should spray it on your hand, rub it, and then kind of work it into the fibers instead of straight spraying on it. I'm like spraying like I have it. But honestly, a lot of what the oil sprays are going to do, you can get with the dual leave-in conditioner, and you're not going to run the risk of like oiling up your wig. So I'm not saying don't do it, but definitely use it with caution. Definitely be careful of your application because you can go from 0 to way too much, way too quick. Okay. Angie says, I have trouble with my little ponytail in the back poking through the wefts. I've tried clipping it flat. I'm struggling with concealing my bio hair in the back. Angie, do you wear a wig? I struggle keeping a wig grip cap on at all. Hard to even get my bio hair up under it. Without seeing that, it's hard for me to say. So you may want to just use, and I had a client in here earlier today. So what we did was we took her bio hair, and she didn't have a lot, and I basically twisted it like this. And again, this is a lot more hair. She had tiny bit of hair. We twisted it like this and actually made a bump on purpose, and then pinned it with a bobby pin. And then we took the wig grip, and I then put the wig grip right underneath the bump that we twisted, and it kind of helped keep on. So I put this below the bump, and this kind of helped keep the wig grip on better for her, because then the little ponytail part is pushing down against this. So that's what we did, because she prefers to just wear a band and not wear a wig grip cap. And, you know, she's got like kind of like this. But this is about the amount of hair we would twist, and it would make this like little bump at the back. And then I would put the little bobby pin, and then hopefully this is making sense. When I have the wig grip, it's going up underneath that and then around. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can do that as an option, like use the bump as opposed to trying to lay it flat and do all that. Use it to help secure the wig and have it have something to like hook up under, even if it's just a little bit of hair. Use it to your advantage to keep the wig on a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, Ellie. Karen says, yep, I also be careful where you spray them. I make one that I sell, and I learned that you can see it on wood floors and clothes. Oh, yeah. So if you, not only on the wig, if you overspray, then you're getting oil on, like, your stuff, too. So that's why I feel like most of the stuff that oil spray does, this dual leave-in conditioner does as well. I do that, but my little bump pokes through the weft sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only way to really get around that is to wear more mesh caps, or, you know, you could try a net wig cap or a bamboo wig cap, but again, you still getting that whole like wig grip cap type of thing. Ellie says, I've had the same problem with my dinky little ponytail poking through the weft. I've tried putting the wig band directly on the ponytail, which presses it flat against my head. That's also a way that you can do it. I also feel like you could, depending on how much hair, even if it's the tiniest bit of hair, you could try using 2 ponytails on either side and flattening them up on the sides as opposed to trying to put it up in the back. I did have one client where we did that. She had enough hair to put, it wasn't a ton. Listen, when I'm saying we put her hair in little pigtails, and it was like this much hair, and then we just put it in 2 that were sitting here, and then she just flattened the rest up this way. I know when I put wigs on like my, you know, my cousin or my friend who had red hair down to here. She had hair so long. When I would put wigs on her, I would actually put her hair in 2 pigtails, braid it, and I would put it up more like Heidi style as opposed to front to back. Okay. And then the last question that I have prepared is, what temperature is safe for synthetic fibers? Which tools on which setting? I've been doing a lot of videos using the tools, talking about the tools and all of that, but we're just going to do a quick roundup and a quick, you know, what's good for what. We're just going to do that quick. Hi, Jana. Before I answer that, Jana says, what makes a wig bunch up on the scalp near the front of the lace? Do you mean bunch up or lift? Okay, so when you're talking about the temperature, if your wig is heat safe, the wig should come with a temperature. Like I can tell you right now, Tressalor's heat safe wigs are almost always 340 degrees. Victoria Fox. Vivica Fox's are 392 degrees. Sepia's are 340. So if you have a heat safe wig, you want to go with what the manufacturer says. But this is the Renee Paris Hot Tool. I believe this, I'm going to plug this in. I believe this is just at 240 and that's it. Now I just customized and styled a human hair piece for a client. 240 is what this is just set at 240. You can't change it. So I customized a human hair piece and styled it for a client that came in, and I actually used this, and I used this at 240. Okay, it still worked on the human hair wig. I just did that to make sure nothing happened, and I also feel like you can kind of control the style a little bit. So if you're not sure how hot you can use, if you're not even sure if it's heat safe, then definitely going with this Hi Dixie would be the way to go. Okay. This tool from the dual styler from Tressalure. The cool thing about this one is that you can set this temperature anywhere from 280 up to 430. It's rare that you need to use 400 plus degrees, even on a heat safe wig. The only time that I've had to do that was when I was like straightening like a beauty supply store wig that was really curly. But frankly, you could do more of the 360 range, and you might just have to do a couple passes on it. But this is nice if you are going to want to be using it on multiple different things, or you want multiple different temperatures. This also has that like cool shot sort of scenario. Then you want to go with this. If you want to control the temperature, this would be a good one to use as well. What makes it bunch up on the scalp near the front? Behind the lace after you've glued it. I'm not really sure. I don't glue down my wigs. The only thing I can think of is like as you're moving, some of the lace is not glued all the way down, but I don't know because I don't glue my wigs down at all. Sally says, I've been using the hot tool to restore my Candace wig by Henry Margu, and it looks brand new again. Yeah, I love the Renee Paris hot tool. I'd say this is how my very favorite one. Of the 3 tools that I sell that are made for synthetic wigs, this is my absolute favorite. I feel this is user-friendly. I feel like you can't burn yourself as much. If you're a newbie, I really think this can be used on anything from non-heat safe synthetic to human hair, right? So I'd say I would definitely use this for, like, this is my go-to. If I had to choose one, I would choose this. I am rapidly falling in love with this bad boy, which is the dual styler, or I'm sorry, the 3-in-1 styler from Envy. And the thing that I actually love, this is my favorite attachment for it. And this one you can, I have a ton of videos. They're scheduled, if they're not out, they're scheduled over the next week. I've been using this all the way, like so much. I think especially for, like, say this wig right here, if I just wanted to fix the ends, I would spray it with the dual leave-in conditioner. And then I would use the Envy. I would use this, like this. And I would go through and just, that's what I would do. So I'd say these 2 are like my favorite, and I customize wigs a lot for my clients, and these are the 2 that I'm using. I also do stuff for myself. And then I'd say third is the Cool Flow. The one thing that I like about this, though, that I don't feel like you can get with either one of these, is if you want to straight up, like, flat iron straight, you want your wig to be straight and you want to do it fast, this is, I like this more for the flat straight part than I do for the curl part. Because none of these are like this, they call this a flat iron. I call this a hot tool. You know what I mean? Because you do have to go like this. If I want something flat, straight, quickly, this is the one I use for that. So hopefully that answers that question. But overall, you want to try to follow the manufacturer with regard to what they say. I'm still learning the Cool Flow, not good with it. You know what? I don't know that I have made too many videos using it. So I'm going to make a note. Make more videos on the cool flow. If you're someone that has a cool flow and maybe you're struggling with it or you want tips or tricks, what kind of questions do you have? What kind of things would you like me to include in the video? And I'll start working on that one for you. And yeah, that's what I have for this Q&A. I love doing these Q&As, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. Let me know if you're watching the replay in the chat, let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about, and also what I should include in a cool flow video. And I've actually been making a ton of content with these two bad boys, so I have no problem switching up and using the cool flow a little bit more to, you know, help people out. Yeah, so anything else you want to chat about before we're done for today? My partner's out of town, so I've been gone all day, and Kit Kat is probably losing her complete mind because one of us is usually home way sooner than this. But yeah, this Friday we have a live sale. We're doing Envy and Ellen Villa, so I'm very excited about that. Thank you, Marjorie. I'm so glad you were here. Yeah, that's what I have for you today. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon in dancing. Okay, we're done. Anyway, I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.